Yo!
What up, what up?
Listen, week 2 of trying to get Matthew McConaughey on the pod. It's kicking off. You watching the video, if you listen on audio, you probably think I'm retarded. If you watch on the video, you saw me doing the chest bump, the Wolf of Wall Street, Matthew McConaughey chest bump. Listen, we trying to have that McConaughey energy going into all of them until we get him on the pod.
Hit us up, Matthew. Let's go.
Matthew, we're a good hang, I promise.
Listen, if you're in Orlando, we come through.
I don't even have to cook the steak. There's a great steakhouse about a block from here. We'll take you there, and we can do 5 minutes on the pod. That's it. 5 minutes, Matthew. Let's go. We won't ask none of the boring questions everybody else asks you on stuff. It'll just be a fun conversation with Matthew McConaughey for 5 minutes. We'll do rapid fire. Hit us up, Matthew. I'm trying to tell you, hit us up. It'll be a good time. And I know you're going to run for like governor of Texas or something one day. This could be the start. Yeah, we'll help. We'll vote for you. Whatever. I'll move to Texas for you, Matthew. I'm just saying.
Yo, welcome back, everybody, to the Come From It podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with a drink of the day.
Yeah, man. We have a classic, and it's aptly named the Classic Oaxaca Old Fashioned. Y'all know we love us old fashions in any way, shape, or form. And we've definitely have done old fashions in the past with tequila or mezcal, or a combination of both, but never with these two. And it's amazing. Obviously, we talking about Matthew McConaughey, and because we brought back the pantalones, so we weren't just saying that. There was a reason why we loved tequila so much, so we brought back the reposado pantalones and some illegal mezcal as well, which is also phenomenal. If you're not a mezcal fan yet, you got to get on it. I know mezcal is like one of those kind of obscure. Mezcal, if you're a fan of like tequila, like real tequila, mezcal is like another level, man. You got to do it. But with this recipe in particular, you're kind of going to build it like a classic old fashioned. So in a mixing glass filled with ice, you're going to do 1.5 ounces of the tequila, 1/2 ounce of the mezcal, 1/2 ounce of the agave nectar, about 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, or you could do the mole bitters, give it an extra Mexican twist, if you will. But we did the Angostura bitters, and then you're gonna garnish with an orange twist that's been flamed. So the ingredients, you're gonna stir it up for a long time, pour it in a rocks glass with a giant ball of ice, and garnish with that torched, that flamed orange peel. And that's it. It's delicious. The mezcal with anything smoked is so good. It brings out the smoky flavors. I'm a big fan of mezcal. I love mezcal, man.
I love tequila old fashions. And so
same.
For those of you who are tequila fans, like this one is just a little bit of a twist to it. It was great. And then like Juan was saying, like we brought back the pantalones, and I want to give a shout out to Pantalones Tequila because you know what, we posted them last time. And they gave us a shout out.
Yeah, they did, man.
So I was like, you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna bring them back. We're gonna try something, try something else, something that we love, and which is a kilo old fashioned, but with just a 1/2 ounce of mezcal, it just gives it a little bit of a twist.
Cause that smoky
flavor, so good, man. So if y'all like tequila old fashions, definitely try this out. This is awesome.
Dude, man, and great point. Like Pantalones could have just liked our post, so we tagged them in, but they liked it and then commented on multiple platforms, and so shout out to them for showing some love.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and it's good. And we're not just saying that. We'll tell you guys if drinks.
And I talk shit about Matthew McConaughey last time.
Right. And we won't. And there's liquors we've had on here that we just don't have again because they weren't good. But we legitimately like this one. So and obviously those guys showing love was cool. So yeah, definitely try this. The combo is phenomenal. Ilegal mezcal is legit too. It's so good. So if you're not if you're a tequila drinker and you like the like real tequila, you'll love, and you're not into the mezcals, I promise you can't be disappointed, especially if you just like to sip. And the thing about the mezcal, the little tip here is if you don't mix it with a lot of sugary shit, mezcal is one of, if not the only type of liquor that you could drink a lot of. Now, listen, do with this information what you will, but you could have a decent amount of mezcal and the next day you're not going to feel that hangover because the sugars on it are naturally agave if you're doing real mezcal. not some mixed shit with additives or whatever. You're doing true, legit, real mezcal, and you're not mixing it with fruit juices and soda and all this
So
other
this
stuff.
one doesn't apply.
Right. No, well, but if you're just doing this mezcal and this agave, yeah, sure. But like if you're doing this and that's tequila and you're doing a minimal agave and all that stuff, you could do more of this than your typical cocktail this way. And the alcohol necessarily from the mezcal isn't gonna be the thing that fucks you up. Like mezcal is one of those that because of the sugar breakdown on it and whatever, it doesn't give you as much of a hangover as most liquors. And it's and again, alcohol is going to give you some kind of effect, right? There's no there, but the mezcal is. I was going to say if you're on a hey, I don't want to feel like shit the next day. Mezcal is probably the one that's going to get you closest to not like shit. You're still going to feel a little, but it's not going to be like everything else. It's not going to be like. I'm not gonna name a tequila brand. I almost slipped, but it's not gonna be like some tequila brand. Yeah. But try. And also, it's just good. Mezcal's delicious. I like mezcal.
All right, man. Compliment of the week for me is going out to. I don't know if I want to give it to the U.S. government or just cannabis in general. So
the U.S. government has quite the week. So
yeah, maybe we should. I don't know. We give it to them, right?
And it could be compounded
because
it'd be events.
U.S. government, but for this reason, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche signed an order on April 22nd reclassifying state licensed medical marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. So those of y'all don't know, Schedule 1 is shit like heroin and ecstasy.
Okay.
Right? Where Schedule 3 is like prescription medication. So like a Tylenol with codeine.
Okay.
Right? And where this is where it's so obviously good, big push and sort of positive on a cannabis side, because cannabis has been criminalized for decades, right?
Yeah.
Based on probably some bullshit. So this not only this declassification or reclassification also allows the medical community to now explore medical uses.
Oh, okay.
For cannabis. So I was like, and there's some other stuff too. There's some tax implications there as well. But I thought that was a really good one. Like I know that marijuana has been used for, cannabis has been used for cancer patients.
Yeah.
And I know that that there's a lot of states, Florida included, that are you can get like the medical marijuana card, and some people use it. They have it for multiple reasons. But I thought like cannabis is one of those things that can probably be used to help a lot of things, and just hasn't been over the years. And this sort of opens that up more for more research and things like that, where it can help. So
it allows us to go kind of further into, or almost whether it's debunked or confirmed, like the uses. But it makes it cuts the red tape where people can actually go in and die. Yeah. No, and the other part of this too, man, I think that is meaningful to me is there's so many people that are in jail or in prison for marijuana that, like, I understand, like the premise of the law is like, hey, a law is established, it's the law, and you break it, whatever, you have to serve your time. It feels extreme in the case of drugs in general feel extreme in terms of the sentences and that sort of thing, and also inconsistent in how we carry that out. So I think getting rid of that by something like this, and then also like I'm not necessarily a fan of if you do any kind of drug, I don't care if it's Schedule 1, Schedule 2, whatever, that you should face decades in prison. Distribution or whatever is one thing, I get it. But like someone who's carrying drugs on them, whatever in whatever amount that's clearly for personal use, I don't think you should lose a decade of your life in prison. I don't even care what the drug is.
Right.
It can't be good for our system. It can't be good for society. It can't be good for taxpayer dollars. There's got to be a better way to handle that. So I feel like there is a lot. I'm not of the let us all smoke weed. I don't give a shit what you do with your life. But I think for me, it's also let's not criminalize. I don't want to call it innocent shit, but frivolous shit. If you're somebody who just chooses to smoke weed for your life and that leads to somewhere with you where maybe you're not Like, there's people that you go, like, there's the medical use of it. There's people who get great use out of it because they're able to concentrate and it's able to, like, or be pain free or whatever. And then, like, we all have friends that are potheads, right? To just smoke. Ain't no pothead trying to cause trouble. You know what I mean? Like, most potheads are like living peaceful lives.
Yeah.
Like, to me, just get rid of, get law enforcement and the system in our tax style is working towards things that are actually detrimental to our society. I think on a more macro level, I don't know that weed is that big of an issue. Like, and I know there's people who disagree with that, but I don't know. I'm more focused on like violent crimes and like truly just like awful shit. Like, I don't know, maybe y'all stop fucking kids. Like, let's start there. Like, you're
right.
So I think there's like multiple levels of this. Is like, even if you're not like, I'm somebody who wants to go and smoke weed every day, but I also don't want people that I know to smoke weed to go to jail. Like, I don't think like you and I, like, we know perfectly professional contributing members of society smoke weed all the time.
Yeah.
Great human beings.
Yep.
And contribute and intelligent and all this shit. It's just like, yeah, let's get them out of the same bucket that you lump in, like, people in prisons who are doing decades for shit. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
So just to be clear though, man, so like this change does not legalize marijuana at the federal level.
No, but it removes it from a certain level of it being, I guess, penalized to a certain extent. Yeah.
Correct. So recreational use would still remain illegal under federal law. But, now it's treated more like a prescription painkiller, rather than like heroin.
Yeah. It's treated more like Tylenol or no, like Oxycontin or whatever, I guess is probably the better.
Yeah, I said Tylenol with codeine because that's the one that you can't get over the counter. It has to be prescribed.
Yeah.
But no, man, I think it's a step in the right direction. So
I think, like was the last episode before, you were talking about things that sound silly or that are normal today that will sound silly in years. And I think your example was radiation.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this is going to be one of those, kind of like alcohol now, right? Like obviously
it's like prohibition. We weren't alive during that shit,
right? And we go like, what the fuck? Like, obviously we start this podcast every week, right? With a cocktail and we have a drink and it's perfectly normal for us to hit up our friends. And for most people, it's like, hey, you want to have a drink, right? Like, I think now it's become like the cup of coffee is kind of the thing to do or whatever. But getting a drink is a perfectly normal, acceptable societal norm. And it used to be illegal, 100 years ago or whatever, 95 years ago. I wonder if marijuana ends up in that same...
It has to, bro. So like last week, or was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. I went to a Total Wine and... which, if you guys, those of you who haven't been to a Total Wine, it's like liquor heaven, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Y'all haven't been to Total Wine, man.
But yeah. So
matter of fact,
you can't
bleep that out until they pay us to talk about it.
But anyway, so I was there picking up some stuff for the pod, and I saw that they have the THC infused drinks.
Okay.
Right. So there's no alcohol. It's just THC.
Okay.
And so those are there. So I think it's sort of becoming like the norm. Even your smoke shops will have like the Delta 8s, the Delta 9 stuff that is, it's THC related.
Y'all are about to get the slowest pod ever because we're not going to be tipsy. We're going to just be on THC. It's going to be, you're going to be looking at your radio thinking you slowed the time. It's going to be a 4-hour pod, but we're going to be talking about the same length.
Well, yo, staying with the government stuff, man. Your boy almost got shot up this week, man.
Yo, did he though? Like, I don't even know, bro. Yeah, the news cycle is so crazy these days that they tried to allegedly there was an attempt at the president's life, right? Or I don't know.
Who knows what he was going for,
I don't
right?
know.
But yeah,
but bro, that shit happened like when was it? Saturday? I didn't hear about that shit until like Sunday night. Yeah. And I remember there was a time where that would be breaking news that my phone would push to me to the top of the list. I didn't even know until I went on like social media Sunday night.
The algorithm is run by the Dems, man.
But also my news didn't even say that shit happened. My news gives no fuck. Yo, the algorithm and the news hates Donald Trump so much that it isn't even news when they try to kill him. They're like, and they almost treat it like, you know how in your local news there'll be some shit where like some kid will get run over at a bus stop by like a wild driver, and then there'll be like a secondary story of like somebody getting kicked, somebody's landlord kicking them out for some dumb shit. Like that landlord story is how the news treats the assassination attempts.
So it was on April 25th, which I think it was a Saturday.
Was it Saturday? Okay.
Yeah, and then so a guy attempted to run through security checkpoint at the Washington Hilton.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So there was a White House Correspondents Dinner going on. Those of you, you probably have heard about this, right? Armed with 2 guns and multiple knives. And, you know, they had to basically, like, I guess the guy did get some shots off. I don't know at who.
Yeah.
Who was hurt.
They didn't kill him, right? He got arrested?
No, he got arrested, man. Yeah, the guy definitely got arrested. It says one officer was struck.
That's how you know he was white.
They got arrested. Oh, they didn't kill him?
Like, how do you bust into the White House with a goddamn... Or not the White House, sorry.
Cole Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
you bust into a event that is essentially for not even just the President of the United States, but every, like... basically major player in our government, right? Because 1 through 3 are in there, right? 1 through 4 minimum are in that room. And this guy busts in and doesn't get killed with a fucking arsenal strapped to his body. That's how you know he's white. Because that dude, like, somehow they managed to detain him without killing him. It's like, in what scenario do you not, if there is ever an event that requires a lethal force where you're like, yeah, I get it, it's this one.
Oh, yeah. They should have just killed him on the spot.
Yeah, you hear the shots in the video, allegedly, because I still don't believe there was an attempt. but in the video, you hear shots go off. And it's like, is that Secret Service or is that the guy? But in what world does a guy surrounded by Secret Service get off, I don't know, I'm going to say 4 shots, 5 shots, and doesn't get killed?
He doesn't get killed.
Is fucking crazy to me, and also why I don't believe this shit actually happened now.
Well, dude,
I'm joining the fucking.
I was gonna say, there's a whole.
I'm joining the club, bro. I'm all in.
There's a whole tinfoil hat, conspiracy about the first sort of assassination attempt.
I believe that shit more and more.
Where they were like, I mean, I've read stuff where it's just like, oh, he doesn't have a scar, and the fact that when he went down and the Secret Service was trying to take him out, that the whole like. He was able to pop his head back up and do the fist up, and like Secret Service would never allow him to do that because the government could still be there, right? Like,
bro, if it was right, and so there's like multiple conspiracy theories. It's like Trump staged it, or the Republican Party, or the Democrats staged it because they legitimately tried to kill him, right? And if you're the Democrats, it's fucking stupid because you turned him into a martyr, right? Like at that point in time, And I would say that I'm almost positive that if that doesn't happen, he doesn't win the election, right? So it became this like catalyst that catapults him to because essentially it becomes like oddly enough, we talked about this a couple weeks ago of like the Jesus thing. It's like he becomes this martyr for the Republican Party. It's like, see, I'm so on your side that they tried to kill me for it, right? Because he framed it as the government tried to kill him. He didn't frame it as some sicko individual who was like a rogue. It was like Democrats trying to kill me because I'm gonna, whatever. And it's like at the time you're just like, is that really true gonna happen? And then like the more time goes on, like I feel like in the last year we've all lost this immense. Like, most people are skeptical about the government, but I think the government has confirmed our skepticism in the last year more than ever. And I think now everything that happened, we're kind of like, did it though? Like, is it really like? And so even like there was a time and place where this would have happened, and we all would have just been like, wow, they tried to kill the president. Not going, I saw the video and I'm like, is this true? Is it AI? Yeah. Is it like a legitimate thing? And then also, is it staged? Like you go through these layers of like,
man, I look at that stuff and personally, man, I go, no, man, like no one's staging a shooting.
Oh, I'm skeptical of everything.
I mean, man. I guess anything is possible. Let me tell you what
I didn't used to be that way.
I just want to tell you what
I think a year ago I wouldn't have thought that, man. I think to where my point was going is like, And it's funny, man. I don't know if it's like the age or experience or just the sort of like current climate, but everything I see now, I question. Like not even just government shit. I think just everything that's happening. I'm like, is this real? And not because of AI. I think we live in such a. I think not even we live. I think the government has been exposed to go to such extremes now that in terms of like winning the people over or keeping us distracted or whatever, that I think we have to assume there's a possibility that everything we see is staged and or fake, right? Like fake, and I mean to say that like, because there are two distinctions, right? It sounds the same, but to me it's like fake in the sense of like, is it AI video or whatever that you're watching on social media, because that's where most of us consume our our news, and then for lack of a better term, even though it's not real news. And then also, is it staged because is it someone trying to win you over and gather and earn your vote or your empathy or whatever it is? It's like you almost feel like everything right now feels like a scam. Like everything.
And I can see why you would say that. I will tell you this. The thing that worried me the most was that Oz Perlman, the dude Oz the mentalist, happened to be there, and I'm like, we can't lose that guy. I'm like, don't shoot Oz. If y'all have not seen this dude, you gotta check him out.
Yo,
and I see him probably more. I mean, he's been on a number of shows, but if you guys have not seen Oz Perlman, I think it's Oz the Mentalist is the way he kind of like labels himself. Or that's his, I don't know, that's his social, I don't know, that's coming to mind. Anyway, he does a lot of shit with like NFL teams.
Oh yeah, I've watched the video.
Sports teams in general, where he'll gonna go in and he basically just does this amazing stuff where he's essentially almost like, or at least appears to be reading minds.
Okay.
And so he was doing like he was performing at this correspondents dinner, and so when the shots fired, he goes down to the ground with the president. And I know he posted on his social, he was just like, yo, that was like probably the most scary moment of my life. And he was like, I didn't know if it was like a gunman or I was going to hear like a bomb go off.
Oh, okay.
Right? So like,
you and I have been in scenarios like that, so I feel like we're seasoned veterans
oh,
right now. Like,
I forgot about that. Kind of, man.
See, you so comfortable in there, you forgot about it, bro.
Have we ever told that story here? I don't know that we have, man. So this is probably this is almost 12 years ago. Juan and I are in Las Vegas with another good friend of ours. We're there to see the Mayweather Maidana boxing match. And so we're exiting. So we're in the MGM Grand.
Yeah.
And we're exiting out of there. And MGM does this thing where when they exit you out of there, they don't let you out in the nearest exit. They make you go through the mall and then go through the casino to get out, right? Because obviously they want you to stop and buy some shit or spend some money. Anyway, on the way out there, we're in this mob of people. And then did you ever hear anything?
There's conflicting reports, because there's conflicting reports that it was just these partition walls that collapsed, that they used to separate the things.
But did you hear anything?
Yeah, no, I heard the sound
and the people
run. Yeah. So I heard the sound and the people run, because it was like pum, 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 and then the people like kind of took off.
Dude,
like, right?
So where I was, because we were all coming out of there and then we all get separated and we're just like, yo, like meeting the casino. Yeah. Right?
What's crazy about it is like we're as close as me and Sean are right now.
Yeah, and then we get separated.
In a split second, we're separated, and we catch up 30 minutes later or whatever, hour later, whatever it was. Yeah.
But we go. So I didn't hear anything. I just hear this commotion from the back.
Yeah, and the people start stampeding.
And we're like, and I'm getting pushed against the person in front of me.
Yeah.
And so I start doing like this, almost like this jogging in place, so where like I'm not gonna fall. And then all of a sudden, for me anyway, this I don't know, this mob that we're in just parts.
People ran into the store,
like to the sides.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm going that way. I'm just going away from whatever the fuck is back there.
Yeah.
And so I ended up falling because I went to stop to help somebody up.
Yeah.
And then I slipped, hurt my tailbone on that shit, right?
I remember that. You were out of commission. Like, you were hurt.
Dude, that hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had a different experience.
I mean, I had a similar, like, somebody fell in front of me. I helped them up.
Yeah.
We wind up in this, like, me and this person, and then multiple people end up in, because the dispersed, because basically people were, so you guys got to think, is like, behind us, the sound happens.
Which is like a gunshot.
It sounds like a gunshot. And again, part of it was these walls, like these partition walls fell. And then I think there was someone shot that day, but there's conflicting reports on whether or not it happened right then and there, on whether or not the walls fell because of the gunshots, or the walls just happened to fall and people thought they were gunshots. Like, there's all this stuff. But anyway, everyone thinks there's gunshots, because if you think about these giant, it's almost like these temporary walls that are up, and they all collapse, and they collapse like in a row, right? So think of like dominoes. So it's like pa 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 pa, right? So people are thinking, that there's gunshots. So everyone takes off. Now, their immediate reaction, like you said, is like either run as far as you can straight ahead, or I got to get in cover because I don't know how far this thing is behind me. Is this person like literally right behind me? So a lot of us go into, if you think about a mall, just a normal mall, if you've never been to MGM Grand, it's like everyone just goes to the side, which is into the stores. I think thinking that the stores have exits that lead to the outside.
Oh.
So,
or maybe just to run for cover.
Yes, right? And I think a lot of it is that. So I end up in this store. We're in this store. The store is like glass windows, glass walls, glass, right? It's a mall. Somehow I end up in this storage room, right? Yeah. Like, I'm going into the storage, because like, it's like, if there's some shit going on, like, we're not safe in here. I'm thinking, I go to a storage room, there's an exit outside, whatever, we'll go through there. There's no exit. So I end up in storage room. I couldn't even tell you what store it was. I end up in storage room. There's still commotion. You're hearing the people screaming, yelling, blah, blah. We barricade ourselves in the storage room. There's people in there with me. There's a girl in there with me where she's so petrified. She's like in a corner, like laying down, which I think is the girl that fell in front of me that wound up in there. She pees on herself. Yeah. Like, to the point where there's a puddle on the ground. I mean, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Yeah. And at that point in time, I'm like, oh, this is fucking crazy. So like, we're in this back storage room, and I think I can't remember if me and some other guy would, but anyway, we wound up like putting shit up on a wall or whatever. Like,
now, as you guys are in there, is anybody talking about, yo, do you know what happened?
No, we're just all like, oh, this is like, what the fuck? Like, I think it's more of like,
somebody's shooting.
I think it's more like, what the fuck? Like, somebody's shooting. It's like, we have to cover it, because I think we all went in there with the same idea of, there's got to be a way out. And I think we all went, there's no way out. Well, it's like, okay, are we going to have to sit in here and wait this out? Then we don't want somebody coming in here. And so it's almost, very few words were spoken, bro. It was almost like me, this dude, and it's like a giant cabinet of like inventory fucking like shelves. And it's just like, grab that and like, we used it to block the door. And then just, it wasn't even long in the grand scheme of things, but we used it to block. It got super quiet, and we just went, okay, that feels like whatever happened, either cops got them or whatever, it's over, right? So we moved the shelf out of the way. We kind of peek out. There's broken glass everywhere. Because to your point, I think what happened is everybody started moving or switching to the side and ran, or got so like compacted that it shattered the glasses to these shops at the MGM Grand of the storefronts, right? Yeah. So we kind of come out, and I think it was just like one of those, like, we walked out, we're like looking around, like it's like eerily quiet, right, for MGM, and then from there, I think I'm texting you, and I'm like, where are you at? And we all wound up all just kind of going our separate ways, kind of thinking like, all right, either the person got caught or whatever, like,
it's over, whatever it is.
And I remember the news being super ambiguous. It was like, it was a shooting, but also there was these walls that fell. People thought it was worse than what it was, and then it was like there was no shooting. It was just the walls. Like, I heard so many conflicting stories about that night. But needless to say, I think in the moment, no one knows what's happening, and it ends up being this chaotic, like, moment where I think everyone's like thinking, like, the poor girl that was with us in that room, and there was a couple of them, but I just remember her specifically because I don't think I've ever seen anyone so scared that that would be their reaction, right? Like, they pee on themselves and they're like literally crying. They're not like a child, right? Like, maybe I'm going to assume she looked like she was my age, right? And so it's just like, she's clearly
in my early 30s.
Yeah, at that time,
or late 20s.
Yeah, I would say I was late 20s, early 30s, right? So it was, probably late 20s,
late
right?
20s.
So, it's like you saw people's reaction in crisis because you don't like the assumption is it's a mass shooting or whatever it was, and then or it's bro, not for nothing, it's a Mayweather fight. It's not exactly the most. I would say it's a pretty ratchet crowd. Like some of it.
Yeah, you thought so, man?
I mean, listen, you go to a fight in Vegas, you got to have a couple bucks, but also there's the other flip side of that where it was like, so you don't know if it's just like the ratchetness, like, and I fall into that category, like, because I could be Sophistiratchet, right? Where I'm like, okay, like I get it. So you don't know if it's like, is it a mass shooting?
Add that to the vocabulary.
Yeah. Is it a mass shooting? Is it an argument between these guys and one person gets shot? Because like I think that occurred to me too. Was like, oh, there could have been an argument. Some people got shot, whatever. Like everybody in the crowd, and I don't know that this is exclusive to a Mayweather fight, but I think it's just exclusive to any large event. Like you're gonna get a group and a demographic that isn't necessarily the most kosher, and you're gonna get like because. I think we think Vegas and we think about what we see on TV and it's like celebrities ringside and like that's 1% of the crowd, right? Yeah. Like the rest of the crowd isn't that. Granted, it's an expensive event, so it prices out a lot of people, but it isn't necessarily all that. But anyway, I say to say like, I think you don't know how you're going to react until you're in the moment.
Absolutely.
And because we all have ideas of like, here's what I would do. And I think for the most part, I would say I reacted the way I thought I would. And this is going to sound weird. I think it almost helps when people around you are like almost more panicked than you are because it kind of forces you to be like, oh, okay. Like,
I don't want to be like that.
I don't want to be like that. And also somebody got to be helpful here. It's like, and I think there's a thing that flips where you're just like, well, fuck it. If this is that bad and some shit's going to go down anyway, I really don't have anything to lose. And so you kind of get into this like survival problem solving / mode. But like, I remember you like you kind of were in the I don't want to say the crossfires, but like in the main area because you just kept running. Like you said, you fell and you had this whole thing and like
I just kept running because like I said, we were in that mob, and then when the sea parted, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna run away from what's going on.
Yeah.
Ended up falling, whatever, but I got back up and I helped. Matter of fact, I didn't even help the girl up because. It was like a big girl. I think she fell, and I was like, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh, this chick needs help.
Like I'm not dying for her.
But no. So like I go to slow down to pick her up. I slip. She gets up and hauls ass. And I'm like, fuck it.
Big girl move quick as fuck.
I ain't helping nobody no more. I'm like.
Not about to get killed for that big girl.
Yeah. My tailbone hurts now.
Oh man, yeah, no, you got it for real hurt. I remember that, man.
Bro, man, that's her, and it hurt for a while.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I remember you getting like legit hurt, but like I remember that event being like, because you see these these like whatever it's a mass shooting or like these kind of like I don't know, catastrophic events that happen at certain places, and because even like you think about. Okay, even if it was just a partition wall falling down, but the way the crowd moved and the trampling, and you hear about things like the Travis Scott concert and all that. It's like you don't, in the moment, you're not thinking about that. But after the fact, you're like, man, this could have been way worse. Or, and in the grand scheme of things, like I think the MGM Grand wound up, fucking more damage than most of us did. But like, but it is one of those like things where in the moment, you don't know what's happening. So you're thinking worst case scenario Bro, I'm watching the reactions to this White House Correspondents Dinner because there's been this criticism to like, the people who didn't run or the people who were just sitting at their desks or the people who like stealing like fucking centerpieces from the tables like it was a quinceañera or, like I'm not even critical about the way they reacted because having been in our situation, I think no one really knows how they're going to react to their net situation.
That's true. And I'm going to tell you that that's true for most things.
Yeah.
You would think that you're, like, I don't know, just insert scenario here. Anybody would go like, oh, in that scenario, I would do X. Or that scenario, I would do Y. Let me tell you, man, there have been things in my life that I have said to myself, if this thing happens to me, this is what I would do. Yeah. And then it happens. And it is not what I do.
No, it's not. Yeah.
And it's not, man.
Dude, it's the fucking, I think I said this last week before. It's like the Mike Tyson thing. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, bro. Yeah. And it's like, you just don't know how you're going to react. So like from that perspective, because I know the conspiracy theorist in me is like, well, these people didn't react the way you expected them to be, so it must have been staged because they were expecting this.
No.
There's another part of me that goes, having been in a scenario that was scary like that, I think, and it's weird because I think for ours, at least in our scenario, for me personally, it wasn't a reaction that was all the way this way. It was like almost like changing as the minutes went on. It was like panic to oddly calm to fucking problem solving to how do I help everybody around me to oh fuck are we gonna, you know what I mean? Like it was like changing by the minute.
And then also like us not knowing where each other's were.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, are you good? Because I remember I was texting a bunch, like, bro, you, and it's like for a few minutes we're not hearing from each other,
right?
Because obviously we're in the chaos of whatever's happening. So it's like, fuck, man, I don't know if you got shot and think because I don't even recall how we got separated because it was almost like there was so
I know
many
exactly.
people. And it was like, I was like, where the fuck
no.
did Sean go?
So we're in this mob, and as we're inching forward, we're just gradually getting apart. And then we just look at each other and we go like, yo, all good, like we'll meet in the casino.
Yeah, I do remember people pushing up against us and it was like, bro, we're going to get
There's
trampled
no way, there's no way to go. But, and that was before the chaos. But anyway,
there were just so many people. Yeah.
To wrap this up, man, so like the accused gunman, guy's name is Cole Allen, 31 years old, detained by authorities at the hotel. And he got hit with charges of attempted assassination of the president, transportation of firearm across state lines. I guess he wasn't from Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
To commit a felony or discharge a gun.
I know it's kind of a mute point, but can you get charged of assassination of the president if you never get a shot off at him?
I think in that scenario where you go, you're going to go potentially shoot up a place where you know he's going to be.
Yeah. I wonder because you could be like, nah, I was trying to kill Vance.
Nah.
Like if you're him.
I didn't even like that.
Like if you're him, is the way out of that naming some obscure fucking person that was there. Like I wanted to kill Trevor Noah. I don't even know if he was there, but you just name a fucking person that was in the crowd.
Listen, don't kill Oz, man. I need that guy. I like that guy.
Not Oz the man. Yo,
you can kill all the politicians.
Kind of on subject with that. And not on the same trip, but I remember like while you're talking about magicians. One of the first times I went to Vegas, I was like dead set that I wanted to see Chris Angel. Chris Angel at the time had this show on TV. I can't remember what channel, but he had a show on TV. I think it was like Mind Freak or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yep.
And it was and it was awesome. Like right, he did all this weird shit. So I remember being in Vegas and I like to gamble, right? So it was like, yo, I want to gamble, but also I want to go see Chris Angel.
Yep.
I saw some Cirque shit, but Chris Angel was like, I gotta see him. So I get into the Chris Angel show, and great experience in terms of like had so seats, got upgraded randomly because there were seats open in the front, blah blah, so on, and disappointing show.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say awful show, just predictable and nothing new. And it was
things
like,
you had already seen.
And not even just that I had already seen them, but it was like, okay, the old magicians where like you're sawing someone in half. It was like, he just did that in a more theatrical way. But it was like, oh, I know how you do that, right? It's the same shit. You just made it look more theatrical. Now, going back to what you were talking about, the mentalist guy, the best part of that Chris Angel show were things that were more mentalist, as where you just went, there were parts where he's like, I don't want to get this way. Well, yeah, no, it was like he was hovering a briefcase over the stage, right? And he would, in an attempt to prove that this was like random, they would like spin him, I think, in a circle or something like that. And he would throw a ball, not facing the audience, just throw a ball over his head. And whoever caught it was sort of the subject that would get picked for this question, right? They would ask you a question. Now, the answer was sitting in a briefcase that was hovering above the stage. But mind you, it was a random person because you couldn't possibly plant this person, right? Now, it had to do with like, there was like motorcycles in the lobby because at the time, he's like, he got custom choppers built and that sort of thing.
Yep.
All kind of shit. Anyway, the briefcase thing where it was the question and the briefcase would pop open and it was the person's answer, like on the briefcase, kind of like it was like, I don't even think it was drawn in. It was like, it was flamed in fire, some shit like that. And then one of them was like somebody, it was like, pick what was your favorite motorcycle out in the lobby. And there was like, I don't know, let's say I'm going to say this. Let's say there were 10 options of motorcycles all in glass cases. The person like thinks it, like puts it on a piece of paper, says it, and in a split second, the motorcycle's like fucking hovering over the stage like the real motorcycle. But when you leave the show, that motorcycle's missing from the lobby.
Okay.
Like, so it's cool because you're like, oh fuck, like that's the one they teleported, quote unquote, right?
Right.
So that shit was kind of cool. But I remember for the most part, the show had let me down so much because I was such a fan on based on the TV show.
Yeah.
And then when I saw his show in person, I was let down because I felt like, oh, I've seen this, not from him, but just from every magician. It was almost like an overly dramatic way to do the old cliche magic tricks, the rabbit out of the hat, the saw in person, the hat, blah, blah, right? But those things stuck with me, which was more the mentalist things of like, well, what are you
Very
thinking?
much so.
Yeah, and I think because those feel so personal, where you're just like, you're in my fucking head,
Yes.
Like, yeah.
So he did one recently, man, where he was on one of these, like
Chris or Oz?
Oz,
okay.
where he did one of these shows where there's like two co-hosts and he's asking them like individual questions and then asking them for like think about a birth date and think about like a date that you have in mind and you think about this and then he puts this shit all together and obviously he guesses correctly and then he goes like, okay, so then you picked this date and you picked this number. I'm going to multiply these numbers together. And meanwhile, he had told the guy, one of the co-hosts, to take out a dollar bill and put it on the table. And then he does this fucking math and then he goes, read the serial number off your dollar that he pulled out of his fucking wallet, which is crazy. Again, I know the guy has a method to his madness.
Yeah. And he's been on podcasts and talks about that kind of his thing. Yeah.
But it's just, it's incredible to see, man. So that guy is like uber entertaining. Again,
it's entertaining at a minimum.
If you have not seen this guy, check him out. It's entertaining at the very least.
Not more entertaining than Matthew.
El Gato.
Los Pantalones.
And if y'all know that reference, then y'all not Martin Lawrence fans. Go look it up. Tango, El Gato, Los Pantalones.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what's this Donald Trump weight shit?
Oh, my God. Oh, man. I guess we've been talking about Donald.
Yeah, we got to stay on that.
We might as well stay on it. But did you see, I don't know why, but we get the government's like stats health-wise.
Oh, no.
They take their annual physicals and so like they release like
they release that
numbers. Yeah, it's weird.
Go.
I guess to give the American people.
So how much does
comfort.
How tall is he?
Yo, all right. I'm so glad you asked that. So Donald Trump is
he's over 6 feet, right?
6'3".
Okay,
he's 224.
I was gonna say he's probably 230.
Okay, what do you think his percentage of body fat is?
Oh, he's 30%.
Okay, you're way off according to the White House.
Get the fuck out of here. Man.
Donald Trump is 4.8% body fat according to the White House. Now, for reference, if you don't know,
4.8.
so you know what 4.8% means, but for reference,
fuck out of here.
DK Metcalf, who is a
fucking
athletic physical nature,
specimen.
Physical specimen. DK Metcalf looks like the character I created. And
he's probably 12%.
He is, he's 6'3", 230 with the same body fat percentage, so 4.8.
Oh, wow.
Look at the picture. So we'll have this up because we got a new producer who's throwing out fire videos. We'll have this comparison. Look at the comparison between Donald Trump and DK Metcalf. When y'all watch this on YouTube, there will be a juxtaposition there. But Donald, no fucking way. I think my co-host here is being kind by saying it's only 30. I think Donald Trump like 89%.
Dude, and then as you age, right, your muscle mass decreases, man. Like your body fat percentage goes up almost naturally.
It's perfectly normal. You're fucking 80.
Yeah, it's okay.
You're 80. It's okay.
Is it 4%, bro?
4.8.
Sorry,
4.8.
5. We'll go. I'll round it to 5. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Donald Trump.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not even interested in being 5% body fat.
No, Donald Trump is better than most D1 athletes.
Of course he is.
Yeah. I think what this proves, it's like, I hate even talking about this because it's really odd because you can't talk about anything politically related without people feeling like you're leaning towards the side, right? But I
I don't give
think
a shit,
that
man.
this it's not even that I care. I think it's that like most people tune out because they don't want to hear anything negative about whatever party they're associated with or they root for or whatever. But I think what this shows is like if you see something like this and the White House release some numbers like this, it's like this is obviously so false. Like I can't even find a better word. It's like this is so obviously almost like what do you call that? Irresponsibly.
I just go, why would you want to, like, what's the purpose?
Well, I think
what are you trying to prove?
Well, I think at least my point is like, it makes me question everything because obviously I have eyeballs. If I'm looking at this guy, he's not that. So why is it that you find it a need to do this? And it's like, and if it doesn't come at, because I'm gonna empathize with anybody who works for this administration and say that these aren't their choices.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like, it's no one in that room going, hey, Mr. President, you're fat as fuck. Like, no one's gonna believe this. Also, you're 80. It's okay if you're 30-something% body fat.
Yeah, no one cares.
Like, I think it gives us this distrust of government it's already there. But I think in these situations, it's so blatantly obvious that you start to question, not even start, you already question shit. I think it just adds fuel to the fire because it's like, you don't even have to lie about this.
Right.
No one gives a fuck. No one's going, well, how tall and fat is Donald Trump?
Yeah,
like,
no.
Like,
no one expects you to be under, you know.
Bless
well, I don't know what the hell's going on here. I got this sneeze attack.
That's what happened. When we start talking about this.
No one expects you. No one expects you to be that low in body fat. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're 15%, that's low.
Well, I think it just speaks to the absurdity of this administration. It's like, why are you lying about this shit that you don't need to?
Right.
You don't need to. And then it's like,
and like I said, it just makes you. If you're looking at that, which I didn't even see that. But if you're looking at that, then like I said, it makes you question everything.
Well, it then makes you question when you quote unquote getting shot at a White House Correspondents Dinner. Are you actually getting shot at White House Correspondents Dinner, knowing that we know that you probably wouldn't have been elected if it wasn't for the assassination attempt, last summer. If it wasn't, then if it wasn't, you need all these distractions now because, in a sense, right now you are governing in the complete opposite way that we expected to, right? Like gas prices are higher than ever. You're in multiple wars. Like, bro, we were complaining about someone's email security and then complaining that Kamala Harris would do all this shit. And I'm not saying pro or against Kamala Harris or Donald Trump or fucking Hillary Clinton or whatever, but it's like the reason a lot of us were like, I'm going to vote for Donald instead of this, were I don't want more wars. I want the economy to be good. It's like right now, man, you're looking at everything. Like literally, we don't have a single W on the board right now.
Bro, do you think that, so midterms are coming up.
Yeah.
Do you think that there is something that occurs between now and then? Like I don't know, like you talk about the stimmy.
Yeah.
Right? Is there some stimulus package? Is there something that occurs between now and then?
I think there's definitely an attempt because I think what we're seeing now are like micro attempts, like half-ass attempts at shit, at either distracting or trying to patronize us. So I absolutely think there will be. I'd like to think that we will see I don't even say that I'd like to. Because I don't really care, man. In the grand scheme of things, I think the whole government shit is all performative and the whole party shit and the election is all performative and it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme.
And I think Mamdani is finding out about that shit.
Yeah. I think this is all performative. I don't really think these people are running. Like, I think the people who are poster childs for the government are actually making real decisions for shit. And I don't know. Like, I guess I don't. I think whether it was Donald Trump there, I think in the headlines are worse, right? Because of whatever, the immigration, all that shit. But I don't think that the nation would be in a different place whether it was somebody else. I don't care who it is. Because at the end of the day, I don't really think it's up to them. And I think that politics are a performative exercise and distraction and like everything. And maybe necessarily so, because I don't know that human beings are capable of understanding and knowing all the shit that it really entails to exist as a quote unquote democratic society. But yeah, man, I think that if you're going into these midterms, that we would be insane. I think if we're saying that we're voting for people based on these merits and what's happening, that it wouldn't just be a complete wash. I do think we're going to get something, to your point. I do think we get, like, I don't know if it's a stimulus package, but I do think we get a severe decrease in interest rates and probably gas prices.
Something with his gas prices.
Yeah, it'll be gas prices. It'll be interest rates. It'll be some major news event. Listen, Americans are very predictable in the sense of, like, we don't change governments in times of war. We don't change governments or we do in times of, like, economic crisis, right? Yeah. So if there's a recession, we're very predictable. Like, the data is like 99.999% predictability of, in these cases, like, this is the way we tend to vote, right? Irrespective of who's in office. So I think that they can leverage these sorts of things to say, if you're in a war, Americans don't tend to vote. Like, and obviously Donald can't run again, but you can go, well, I got to keep the team. Well, it's not supposed to, but, like, yeah. Also, it's funny, man. People used to say that, and I used to be like, nah, you're out of your mind. Now I'm like, we'll see.
Nothing's off the table.
Nothing's off the table. Yeah. And, dude, and man, on the flip side of that, if I don't know the Democratic Party has anybody that they can run or should run, or, like, I also think if you lose these midterms in terms of, like, the percentage of people that you get in versus the Republican Party, and then if you don't win the next election, you fucking suck. Because I feel like it's being handed to you on a platter. And if you can't take advantage of how inept bro, me included, people were screaming that Donald Trump was the death of democracy if you voted him in. Remember that? And it seemed like hyperbole, and it seemed like just some shit you say when people are running for office, right? Like, where it's just like the other team trying to win. It's been very consistent with, he's been anti-democracy in terms of, like, how he's handled, like, the immigration, and how he's handled certain human rights, and how he's fired journalists, and how this week he just got rid of the entire, like, science board, and, like, he gets rid of, like, the labor people who don't agree with him, and like, so very much seems like that is anti-democracy.
Speaking of scientists, are we up to 12 dead?
Yeah, 12 dead ones in the last. So we started talking about this a month ago, and there were close, maybe longer. Yeah, and now there's 12 dead scientists that have been working on shit. So it's like, dude, everything right now
is
not
saying that's him.
No. But what I'm saying, but it's a great point, because it's like everything that we were that I think at a point in time we would have assumed, because, man, Donald aside, I think just in general we would have all assumed this was all tinfoil hat. We would have all assumed this is, like, exaggerations of the Democrats or of the liberals or whatever party you go for of the conservative. It's like, I tend to, like, the minute people use the term liberal, conservative, I'm out. I check out. I don't care. That to me tells me you're, like, more party than thing. Like, I can't subscribe to the whole notion of, like, you vote for your party lines no matter what. Because I think, if anything, this shit has shown us, like, I mean, bro, we haven't even touched the Tucker Carlson shit, and how, like, I think the Tucker Carlson, and for you guys that don't know, it's like Tucker Carlson, who's been, like, a poster child for the Republican Party for a very long time, has been, like, coming out. And I also think Tucker Carlson is very performative, so I don't believe a lot of shit that he says. But his latest,
I just think it's something he says with a grain of salt. Just like, even before he's kind of
right. But his thing now is like, oh, I feel responsible for getting this elected. Right. I'm regretful, and yada yada, blah blah blah. But what I say that to say is, like, what happens when you have individuals with the leverage and with the influence that Tucker Carlson has is that when you have people who strictly vote party lines, no matter what that is, like blue or red or left or right or independent or whatever it is, like, a lot of people would just go, well, I'm just voting for these people because they're part of the party, the team that I root for. Tucker Carlson is, like, a part of that environment that just allows us to kind of propped up that party or that belief or affirm these beliefs that we have, whether right or wrong. Tucker Carlson, not only in this case does he come out and say that he was regretful, but he's been on hot cameras or hot mics, recording saying that he hated Donald Trump at the point in time that he was still working for Fox, telling us to vote for Donald Trump.
Not for nothing, man. J.D. Vance did too.
Right? Yes, but that's what I'm saying. It's like
a threat to democracy.
But I think that's exactly the point. It's like if we're paying attention, the same people that we're going to for our information saying, well, this guy, and we're watching Tucker Carlson's show and we're watching J.D. Vance and we're like, oh, they love this guy. It's like those same people are talking out of the side of their mouth saying like, man, fuck this. And it's not even a knock at Donald Trump. It's more of they're just doing whatever's convenient for the performance. It's like insert Barack Obama, insert Hillary Clinton, insert Kamala Harris, insert Donald Trump. Right. Like it doesn't matter who it is. It's like at the end of the day, it's just fake. It's performative. It's theater. It's like and like we still eat it up, and we have the information, we have the videos, we have the clips, we have the thing of these same people going like, I'm just doing this, but somehow we'll use that to affirm our vote in that same. It's like a really strange. I don't even know. I'm not articulate enough to like come up with what the word is for that, but it feels dysfunctional. I don't know what the word is for that, man. It's like it feels bizarre, and it's led to this bizarre point in time right now where we are politically.
I think for me, man, it's like I'm interested to see because like I'm more interested in how people are gonna react to certain things and then what behavior follows that. So like in this case, right? So like people that have even voted for him are looking for certain things and they're not getting those things. And then so does that flip like the midterms? Does it flip?
I don't think it matters.
Does it flip 100% against them, half, 50% or none? So like that's what I'm interested to see what come midterms. And then the other piece that I'm looking at is going, is there something that happens like an assassination attempt or a stimulus check or lower gas prices or like does something turn before the midterms to make people that were supporting him to go, oh, see, we're on track.
See, I don't think the assassination attempt works for anyone else other than him. And I'll tell you why. I think that when Donald Trump first ran, he ran on this premise of being anti-government, right? And he ran on this premise of being the person who's the truth seeker and the person who's going to expose.
But that's why it works. But that's why those things work.
An assassination attempt worked because he can go, you see?
Right.
I'm trying to give you guys a thing. And so I don't think the assassination attempt works if you're Joe Biden, if you're Kamala Harris.
No, but I mean, in this case.
If you're Mitt Romney, I don't think it works. I think it works in Donald's case because he's running off of this platform that
I'm not a politician.
Even though the longer he's been in, the more of a politician he has become. Right? And I think what you're seeing is the second term of people going like,
better of talking, of speaking like a politician.
Yeah, it's like fall in line, bro. Like I also think I'm of the belief that the assassination attempt was more of people telling him, hey, fall in line. Because whenever we want you, we can get you. Like, I kind of believe that of like because I think that's why you're seeing him kind of like fall into some of the agenda of the thing of like, well, oh, fuck, like I can't. Like, I think we think that Donald Trump is going off of his own shit, And,
no, but even like the Iran stuff now, it's very reminiscent of what Bush went through with Iraq.
Exactly.
Very reminiscent.
Yes.
And it's just like it again, to your point, it's like, man, like is somebody else running this? And we always talk about the deep state, whatever, right? Whatever,
do you think we would seriously give
permanent government or whatever it is,
power to an individual who only governs for 4 years to essentially change the fate of the world? I don't believe that. No. I don't think that it is ultimately his decision on what happens. I think that person is a puppet and is a poster child, like a mascot for what we actually want to happen. And I think what happens every once in a while, you get someone like him who is extremely gullible and egotistical and and
I don't even want to say
true
he's gullible,
narcissist.
man. I just think that.
Oh, I do, because I think you can play on Donald's love for himself and for his need to feel like loved and for his need to and his narcissistic.
I think you could
tendencies.
too, but I also think that like he's smart enough to know, if you're in those places with like whether it's a deep state / permanent government that's in place, and they go, yo man, like you want your family to be in a good place after this, then you will do these things.
See, I don't think he is. I think the assassination. See, that's why I go back to the assassination attempt.
Yeah.
I think he thinks he's above that, and then they go, probably attempt to kill him, and then they go, hey, you see that we let you live.
Right.
Like next time, it's not gonna miss by an ear. Like, and I know that shit sounds like tinfoil hat, but I think Donald Trump's first attempt was him. I think his first run at government was, I'm gonna do all this shit and I'm gonna make the economy good. I'm gonna govern in this way. I think what he wound up finding out was that, hey, we kind of let you get there and we kind of let you be this. And because, bro, there is zero chance that in the most powerful nation in the world, we install a new person every 4 years, right? Theoretically.
Yep.
And we just go, hey, here, have at it. Change whatever you want. Like, this isn't a fucking house that you just go, change the curtains and the fucking color on the walls. You know what I mean? Like, there are people in place in this society, like, I think that we'll never know and we'll never understand and we'll never think that who make these real decisions. And I think what happens is that the first term, they like kind of Donald do his thing, and for the most part, they're like, he didn't fuck around too much, like we'll leave him be. And I think the second time around, it was kind of a, hey, like this is why I think the assassination attempt was almost like a warning shot of like, fall in line, or this is what will happen.
Could be, man.
I don't know. And again, I could be tinfoil hat, I could be completely fucking bonkers, I could be nowhere near. This could also just be theater and soap opera and whatever, and it keeps us fucking distracted the way it's doing now, and we're not talking about real shit that we should be talking about. Like, that's also very possible. I don't think Donald Trump is as smart as we give him credit for. And that's not because I'm like anti-Donald Trump. I just think that someone who's that egotistical, that narcissistic, that there's one thing that motivates them, and it's ego. And so I think that if you make decisions like the decisions right now that are like the way gas prices are, the way this war is, the way the sort of people hate you over the immigration policies, I don't think Donald's ego allows him to have as much hatred aimed at him. Even if he says, oh, that's just these shitty, like fucking Democrats or these like conservatives or whatever. I don't think someone like him likes the idea of anyone hating him. I think that guy cares so much about his image that this is above and beyond his. And I'm not saying, and it's not even a defense of him. It's just that I just don't think that all of it is him. Because, bro, okay, can you imagine if Donald Trump's allowed to do this, right? Then why do we have all these other checks and balances in place?
No. I totally get that.
Like, I just don't buy it. Yeah.
All right, listen, man. We've been on Donald Trump for way too fucking.
Fuck him. No,
fuck him.
I say that to say I just don't want to spend a lot of time on Donald.
All right.
But even though I have.
Hit me up with this. I know we got to be like an hour in right now, right?
Yeah, right at.
All right, bet. Hit me up with the husband filing for divorce.
Oh, man.
What's going on? I mean, this doesn't seem as a topic of conversation.
No,
doesn't seem too far fetched.
So
what's up?
Let me break it down to you. This guy marries this woman, right? She is objectively beautiful, and I will show you the picture.
She just looks good.
Yeah, like attractive woman. He marries. They've been dating. They get married, right? And then he. So I'm gonna show you. So he files for divorce. After their wedding night.
Oh, so the next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he files for divorce because it was the first.
She like banged the. Go ahead.
Well, it was the first time he saw her without makeup on. So the entire.
Yeah, okay. Are these like Americans? Are these what?
So
what
he's from. What do you think he is? I'll let you guys. You know what? I'm sick of being the racist one on this podcast.
Middle Eastern.
So. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, let's go.
Tell him what he's
worth. Let's go. Yo.
Come on now.
You know I got people out there. Let's go. Ghana, Geo Savage. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
So, bro, this story, and it's not a new story, but they got married at Al Mamzar Beach in Sharjah.
Okay.
He claimed he couldn't recognize her once the water washed off her heavy makeup, saying he felt deceived by her use of cosmetics, false eyelashes, and colored contact lenses. Despite efforts to reconcile, he refused to continue the marriage. The incident was later discussed by psychologist Dr. Abdul Aziz Asaf, who was counseling the woman. He noted that she had planned to inform her husband about her use of cosmetic enhancements before the situation unfolded. I don't know when you were planning to bring that shit up.
How much makeup do you have to have on?
Yo. Makeup's an impressive tool.
I agree. Matter of fact, I seen a recent movie with Halle Berry, where she's now, she's like pushing 60. She's like 59.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, Halle Berry, beautiful woman, right? Like, yeah. But she's pushing 60. And I seen a movie with her recently, and it was almost like she sort of wakes up, goes to the bathroom, and then she's putting on makeup. Right,
okay.
Like, and obviously, like the makeup helps, right?
Just a smidge
from her wake up moment. But to dude, I would think that if you're gonna marry somebody, you gotta wake up real early so that I don't catch you.
Yeah, right.
With makeup, you know what I'm saying? Yo. Like. We gotta, like before I marry you, I'm gonna spend time with you.
Somebody gotta hire her. I go, yo, this chick went the extra mile. Yeah. Wake up early, think, yo, what a can-do attitude.
Bro, not for nothing, man. Like, I know women that get up like hours ahead of wherever they have to be.
Yeah.
Just to do their makeup. And I'm like, if you're doing that.
Shout out to them, they're the real MVP.
If you can do that and then get somebody like do that on a consistent basis to get somebody to marry you, fucking kudos to you.
Yeah, man. Yo, I think.
But fuck, what a disappointment that could be.
That guy. Now, do you want to see the difference?
Yeah,
I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna put if you guys are watching on YouTube, we're gonna pop these two things together. So I want to show you the girl with makeup on first. That's what she looks like. I want to see your reaction.
Oh, that's straight makeup. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the thumbnail of the podcast. Is Sean's reaction?
Oh no! Yeah, it's not the same person.
It's not the same.
It's not the same person.
No.
But yo, kudos to her. She's getting up at fucking 4 a.m.
Yeah, she's doing her thing. As I'm saying, I respect the hustle, bro. I would just be like, yo, you can't not wear makeup ever. Again. Yeah, like you're gonna have to dye in makeup, live in makeup, do things like you gotta look like that.
Oh my god.
Bro, it brings up an interesting point because, like, obviously that's an extreme example, right? Like of someone making it all the way to their wedding.
Shit like that on.
No, I have
IG,
to.
Right? You've seen shit like that.
I have to, but also I have in real life. You ever see somebody with makeup on, and then one day you see them without, and you're like, ooh.
But not like.
Or you're like, hey, where's so and so?
Yeah.
And
you go to their fucking. You go to their desk. Yeah. You're like, oh, what happened to so and so? You're like, hey, Sean, it's me. They can know.
And you're like,
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
What have you done with
her? But, you know, because there's obviously plastic surgery, there's makeup, there's all this shit. Like, bro. Would you be upset if let's say you went on one date with someone that looked like that, and then a couple, you know, and you find them physically
the dates,
attractive?
No. I mean, like, I would be like, oh, wow, like, that's not what I expected, right? But to go through a relationship so much to where you go, I'm going to marry this person.
Yeah.
And you haven't seen them without makeup. Again, and listen, like different cultures and whatever, right? Like maybe there is like this cultural difference to where you never see them like that until you
gotta wear the ninja costume and then just say it. I know that's what you want to say. Just say it.
I don't want to go there, man.
You gotta look like Shinobi, and then and then you don't see the unshinobi until after the wedding. Just go ahead and say, I'll follow that sword.
Like, oh shit!
I just want y'all to know I'm not gonna die in a mass shooting. I'm gonna get stabbed by someone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But no, man, I feel like in this case, the guy had full grounds to annul that marriage.
So now it's like a step further because like obviously plastic surgery and cosmetic enhancements now have become a thing for girls, and then I think it's becoming a little more prevalent for guys.
Okay.
So where do we draw? Like, is the line you have to know that something is cosmetically enhanced?
No.
Versus,
I would say if it's cosmetically enhanced forever, then no. Like it's not. I'm not gonna look at a picture of you before and then go like, oh man, you used to be ugly, but now you're hot.
Okay.
But the hotness is not going away.
Well, it's funny because I like personally, I almost split this into two categories, right? Makeup, right?
Yep.
Works. You see people with makeup without makeup, and you're like, oh, I get it, right? Very rarely do I see someone who's had plastic surgery that looks better post.
Oh, and I would agree with that.
Yeah.
The thing is that if I met you post-surgery and I liked what I saw, and that's what I get moving forward, like I have to be okay with that.
Yes.
I'm not, but I can't go, oh, you look great now, but I see an old picture of you, you look like shit. And then she goes, well, I had plastic surgery to fix my nose or my fucking cheekbones or whatever it is. Like, if I met you like that and I'm good with you like that, and that's not gonna change, like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah, no, and you know it's funny, and I think the feelings to this are very different if you're a girl or a guy. I think as guys, if a woman goes, I got implants, butt or breasts, I got a facelift, I got Botox, whatever. To your point, we don't give a fuck. But like, you used to look like that? Good. You don't look like that no more. Great. I got the better version of you.
You fixed it.
Right? You fixed it. Like, I appreciate you working on your flaws. That shows growth. But if you're a guy, so I pose it, if you're a guy, I think, and you get any kind of plastic surgery or enhancements.
Or fucking height enhancement.
Whoa, height. If you get a dick, if you get cheekbones, if you get hair plugs, anything, bro, as a guy, abs, right? Like pecs, whatever. I don't think women are as accepting.
Yeah? I don't know.
I can almost guarantee that women would be like,
I can't speak on it. If it wasn't so fucking late, we could call someone.
I'm going to tell you right now, as a guy, you're not even allowed to be sick without a woman going, ugh. You know what I mean? You think they're going to go, oh, he had to get a dick implant. Like, that's great. Like, no. Or, like, we don't get that same grace, I think, in most scenarios. Like, you could be
right. I don't know.
I'm almost willing to bet my life that I think if these roles were reversed, I think if these roles were reversed, right? Like, bro, man, I'll take it a step further. If people in relationships, right? Again, we know there's like stereotypes between men and women, and sometimes rightfully so. But I think if she said like, oh, he divorced me because I didn't look like that or whatever, blah blah, right? Like, we're talking about it on this pod, and I think there's a very large group of people who will call him insensitive and yada yada yada, right? It's kind of like, men aren't allowed to get bored. Women are. If a woman cheats on her husband and it leads to a divorce and she goes, oh, I was just bored and so I cheat on him. Like, there's a group of people who would be like, what a whore. Most people would go, well, you should have. As a man, well, you should have been bored. Right? But as a man, if you say,
I was bored,
you're a dick.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. You're a piece of shit. 100% of the time.
Even from other dudes.
Yes.
Even if they behind the scenes are going, I understand.
Yeah, right. Like if we went to each other and we said that, we'd be like, you're an asshole. Right? But as a woman, if a woman went out publicly and went, well, I was bored, most people would go like, or well, bro, why didn't you entertain her? You know what I mean?
Like he wasn't paying attention to me.
Right. Most people would be like, well, bro, that's on you. You fumbled that. Like, you should have done better. Whereas if a guy, if you said, well, I was bored of her, it would be like a million excuses would come out. Oh, she just had a baby. Whoa, she just did that. Whoa. And it would be like, you're just an asshole. Oh, that's superficial. Oh, people get older.
Yeah,
but if a woman comes out and goes, I was just bored of him, they would be like, Oh,
It's his
why didn't
fault.
you keep her not bored? Like, sorry, I couldn't get titties.
I saw a recent thing like that, man, where it was this chick that does comedy, stand-up comedy, and she goes to like one of the audience members and points out this couple and says something about, oh, is that who you're with, whatever, and the lady, I guess, in the audience goes, oh, like he works too much, and then the female comedian, starts, basically tells her like, oh, so like, I'm assuming you don't like the cush life you have. And oh, I see you have highlights. Like, those are pretty expensive, and your nails are done, and that's pretty expensive, and like all this shit that his money pays for, right?
Yeah.
Kind of
You're not complaining about it when you're
right.
I know exactly what you're talking. I'm a comedy nerd, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Comedian named Crystal Marie, Middle Eastern, which ties in perfectly
Oh,
with this
perfect.
shit. She's a Middle Eastern comedian named Crystal Marie, who I would, which it lines up so perfectly. I would argue isn't as big as she should be because she's good looking.
Yeah.
So she's someone she's funny. She's done sports commentary. Has been on a lot of shit, and because of takes like that,
Yeah.
And she's good looking. Probably isn't as big as she should be because there's a weird thing to get famous, right? We want good looks, but it's almost there's a level of good looks in a certain industry where we're like, nah. And comedy is one of those where we want you to be ugly, man or woman. Like, notice in comedy,
It's funnier.
it is funnier if you're fat, right? If you're self-loathing, if you're and this applies for guys too. In comedy, we don't want you to be. You think about all the biggest comedians in the world, very few are good looking. This is why like Matt Rife is like an anomaly, right? Matt Rife is a good looking dude, and then they go and he's blown up because of it almost he had to make himself undeniable by getting so big on social media with clips, and he grew his audience of like women that followed him that he became like difficult to ignore. But Matt Rife was like one of these people who was like didn't get the attention he probably should have gotten based on his work. Because of what he looked like. Crystal Marie is one of those on the women's side where it's like Crystal Marie is almost like too good looking for the industry she's in. It's like if she'd have chosen to just go be an actor, she probably would have been fine. When she was like a correspondent for like sports networks and shit like that, and she covered like, and she was like an anchor and all that. She was like kind of like grown there, and then I think it kind of fell off. But she's one of those people where you're like, oh, you fit the look, and then it's like, oh, you're in the wrong industry to look like that. Like
I saw recently another male comedian. Not good looking dude, scrawny guy, like thick glasses.
You normally aren't.
And one of his opening lines was like, I'm trying to address my toxic masculinity. And it's like it's a great opening line because the look of him, it's just not that.
No, and I think it's funny, man. I've spent obviously a ton of time in comedy clubs and like open mic shit and all that. And people want you and it's a disarming almost trick of the trade kind of thing of like in comedy, in order to like be able to get away with making fun of other people, you have to be able to make fun of yourself.
Yep.
But what happens is if you're someone who the audience looks at as like, well, who the fuck's gonna make fun of you? Or they see you as above them. And a lot of times aesthetically, it doesn't even, like, right, when you get on that stage and I'm and I'm sitting at a table and I'm watching you, I don't know your education. I don't know how much money you have. I don't know all this stuff, right? And it's like, so the immediate thing is the looks, right? So if you are shit and Gillis and you look a little bit retarded, right? Like it's easy to sort of like disarm yourself and not be a hater or have jealousy or whatever if you're a guy.
Yep.
But if you're someone up there who looks like a fucking Abercrombie model or thing, then most dudes immediately check out because you're like, so in comedy, what you end up having, male or female, is like generally people who are I don't want to say ugly, but are like or self-loathing, or like you get that crowd. You don't generally get people with high self-esteem to do comedy, and I don't lump myself into that. There's something wrong with us when we want to go up there and you kind of seek validation and making other people laugh that you've never met, right? Like there's definitely a need there of like wanting to feel some sense of validation, right? Of getting this attention from strangers. And so it doesn't work if you're a good looking person. whether you're male or female, it's really bizarre. I very
crazy.
rarely see good-looking guys, again, succeed. That's why you don't see many comedian guys or girls who are good-looking. So I'm using the Matt Rife as an example because Matt Rife is someone who's gotten a lot of hate. He's blown up, and the hate has been like on his material of him like only having crowd work shit, but it has a lot to do with how he looks.
Yep.
And it's like, man, the dude put in the work. However you feel about his bits or jokes or whatever, but the media thing is like, well, he looks like a fucking Abercrombie model, right? So like people don't like it. Crystal Marie's in that sense. So it's funny you brought her up because I was like, yeah, she's someone who can make that comment about that woman about, hey, I bet you like your cushy lifestyle. But I can guarantee you the women looking at her are going like, fuck you, bitch. You look like that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really strange, man. And it's almost like that would almost be more accepting if a woman if that was coming from another woman that woman didn't find threatening.
Right.
But I think she looks threatening to most women. And so she almost comes off like a bitch for making that comment. Whereas most guys are like, fuck yeah. You know
what's funny, man? One of the comments that she makes before she kind of goes into the whole Kush lifestyle is like, she listens to the guy and she goes, oh, he's hot. And I thought about that immediately, was just like, oh man, like if she said that about him, like the woman might feel threatened because she's not a bad looking woman.
Because she's not a bad looking, yeah, right. Like if some fat chick up there, and I don't even want to use a comedian name.
No,
but if some fat chick up there,
Lisa Lampanelli,
yeah,
you know what I mean. I'll use it. Great comedian, by the way.
Lisa Lampanelli, I've actually seen Lisa live. She's
so have I. She's funny,
hilarious.
as fuck,
She's amazing. But if someone that people deem to not be a threat made that same comment, it's like, But I think coming from someone like her, right? Like I can imagine that woman in the crowd. She goes, "Oh, he's hot." She's probably immediately going like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. It's like, yeah. Like now you're stroking his ego. Yep. I feel threatened by you.
Yep.
If I take off this makeup, I look like this fucking woman whose husband got divorced. Like a fucking troll. Y'all got to see that picture, bro. He is well within his rights to divorce this chick.
If you're not watching the YouTube, definitely watch the YouTube.
Yeah, she looks fucking terrible. There. She looks like a pre-pubescent teen in terms of like you know those commercials for like what was the pimple infomercial? Was it not the?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Infomercials, man.
Yes.
Whatever infomercial was around for pimples, and then and then it was like you use whatever this shit is, and then afterwards she looks like She looks like a before photo
of anything.
Of anything.
Yo, on that, tell them where they can find us.
Not at the top of any woman's Christmas list. At the Carbon Food Podcast on IG, on Facebook, on TikTok, at Carbon FP Pod on X, at Carbon Food Podcast on YouTube, GeoSavin Ghana, tune in, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Amazon Music. Tell your smart devices to play us. Comment. Make sure you guys comment. Tag fucking Matthew McConaughey and Pantalones in this video. Whenever you guys comment on us, we're trying to get Matthew on the pod. I don't even care if it's for 2 minutes, Matthew. We just want to ask him a question. Come and have a steak in Orlando. Absolutely. We got you. Comment. There's a lot of people calling us fucking retarded and stupid and stuff in the comments too. I love that. Have at it. Y'all gotta understand, something about me is I have thick skin. You can't hurt my feelings. So
you can hurt mine. Don't talk shit about me, man. My feelings get hurt.
I talk so much shit.
That's why I don't read the comments.
Yeah. I talk so much shit that it is impossible for me to be sensitive. Because I talk too much shit to be sensitive. So have at it. And then tell your friends, your pizza man, whoever, your babysitters, your side piece, your whoever you guys hang out with on a daily basis, your comedians on stage, your chick doing your makeup, your chick not doing her makeup. Just tell everybody. Tell them to listen up.
Yo, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I was listening to the Mel Robbins podcast recently, and she had on Dr. Ruhal Jandial. I'm probably gonna mess that up.
He's a reggaeton singer, yeah.
Last name is
His partner name is Weesing.
Jandial. Look him up if you're interested. But he's a doctor. He's worked with a lot of cancer patients all over the world. And through his career, he found that people who feel the most at peace at the end of their lives were ones who care less about the outcome. They were the ones that pursued opportunities, trusted their instincts, and took chances. So, like, to take that all into sort of an encompassing statement, he goes, don't count the wins, count the shots.
Oh, I like that.
And I love that.
Yeah,
and I was like, that shit
Yeah,
sticks.
yeah.
And he's like,
shoot your shot. Man.
Hinge your happiness on opportunities you pursue, not on whether they're successful. So to remember that, if you remember anything, is don't count your wins, count the shots.
Yeah.
Take your fucking shots, people.
Yeah, it's a cliche. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that, man.
And on that, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.